In When a Witness Recants in 1983, author Ta-Nehisi Coates learned that a 14-year-old boy was murdered in his Baltimore middle school. Upon revisiting the case, he uncovers the truth. 3 innocent teenagers were wrongfully convicted and spent 36 years in prison, creating a lasting impact on the accused, the witnesses, and their community. When a Witness Recants is directed by Dawn Porter, and she has directed films such as John Lewis' Good Trouble and Luther Never Too Much. And When a Witness Recants debuted at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival. When a Witness Recants is a film that will make you angry and put you through a whole emotional roller coaster throughout the entire film. This case of these 3 teenage boys being framed for this murder of their fellow student in 1983 is based all around this police officer who was lead police officer, the investigator on this case, who basically managed to find these witnesses and basically pressured them into giving false statements. And this is how these 3 boys were sentenced to life in prison for a murder they didn't commit. And in this film, we pretty much get interviews with everybody involved, the three teenage boys who are now all grown up and eventually were exonerated and let out of prison after 36 years, and also the witnesses. And we also see police tape. I think once this case was reopened, there was an interview with that lead police officer who was responsible for putting these teenagers in prison, and he gives he gets pretty good in this film, and he seems to have a recollection of what happened, but he seems so smug in this film, and that makes you even more angry to see him act this way as the film goes on. And I think this film is a commentary on how can the lives of several people just be held in responsible of just one police officer. Is it right for one police officer to have so much power and be like so solely responsible for the lives of so many people? And it's tragic to see that this case didn't just affect the 3 innocent teenagers who spent 36 years in prison. It affected everybody, the families, and we get to see everybody who is involved, like these witnesses who were coerced into giving false statements. It's affected their lives, and one of the witnesses, he's just pretty much he never went back to school after this incident, and he's been in and out of jail his whole life, and he's currently in jail spending 28 years for a crime, and it's pretty much destroyed his life. So it hasn't not destroyed the 3 boys, but also many other people involved in this case as well. And it also makes you angry that like the judge involved in this case, the prosecutor involved in this case, the police officer police officer involved in this case, there's no repercussions for their actions, and that'll make you angry throughout this film. Even though these 3 men eventually were exonerated and they're given a very huge settlement from the government, it's just such a shame that the people involved in putting these people behind bars were never like punished. One thing that this film does that I haven't really seen before is you see on the news a lot that people are let out of jail for crimes they didn't commit and they get huge settlements, and then that's it. You don't really find out what happened to them. But this film spends the final 30 minutes of the film just following them outside of jail, how they're dealing with the psychological impacts of this incident, and just it's so refreshing to see. Like I haven't really seen that type of thing in a documentary film before. And there's also like a little bit of twist at the end of the film where these 3 men reunite with one of the witnesses that put them behind bars, and it doesn't really go like you think it's going to be a big emotional reunion and forgiving, but actually it's a bit of a twist actually what happens, and that's also very sobering and very eye-opening to see these men like very maturely react to like a big reunion, and it doesn't really go the way you think it's going to go. I give When a Witness Recants 4.5 stars out of 5. I highly recommend checking out this documentary. You go through a whole emotional roller coaster throughout this film, and just it'll make you angry and sad, and just it just really shines a light on who in the justice system, who gets to hold so much power in each level of this justice system, and it really shines an impact on how innocent lives can be just put through the justice system and unjustly served, and they can lose their lives just by just one person. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out this film, Witness Recants. It's a very engrossing, emotional crime thriller courtroom documentary. Thanks for watching. What do you think of Witness Recants? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.